and welcome to Stir with Love, a podcast by Love of Food Network. Today, I am joined by my wonderful husband, Rob Delory.
Hello.
Rob and I recently went on a fantastic journey to San Diego. And when you're in San Diego, you must go and have what we call boat drinks, which just means drinks by the water. Right, Rob?
Yeah, I live for
it. So there were other kinds of sipping in San Diego. So we're going to talk about that today. So hopefully you're going to be able to see my presentation here.
I do. Looks great.
Fantastic. So we sipped our way through San Diego. We were fortunate enough to go on this trip because it was a work trip for Rob where he was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
What was your topic?
It's a marketing topic, SEO storytelling.
Okay, SEO storytelling. And so he was at the conference and I was exploring, and then I was at the conference with him, and then we went exploring together for a couple of days. So I just wanted to kind of give you the wherewithal why we were there. All right. So first up, the first day that we were there, we were able to go and get on the ferry. And we rode the ferry from San Diego to Coronado Island. And the ferry, it runs both ways. It's $9 each way. And it runs every hour on the hour for most parts throughout the day. I don't know what time it stops. You'd have to go to their website to find out. So that was the first thing we did. And just to give you an idea, where you pick up the ferry, you pick it up right behind the conference center. So right behind, there's a ferry terminal, and it takes you directly across. And it was a lovely ride, was it not, Rob?
It was fast, is what it was. I've taken ferries, and you just never know how long. I think that was about a total of 10 minutes to get from one point to the other.
And we had a good time because we were able to go by all these yachts and look at everything from a different angle, right?
Yeah, and they had some beautiful ships for sure.
Yeah, there were some nice yachts there. Lots of money in San Diego, especially down around this water area. It's not a place that you go and think you're going to save money. It's definitely a place if you have money it's a playground if you have money. Let's put it that way. All right. So anyway, what we did when we got over there is we realized that Coronado Island really is for the people that are experienced the good life, right? Lots of money, big playgrounds, lots of fun. And what we decided is that we pulled up into the harbor and we looked over at these beautiful townhomes, condominiums, townhomes, whatever you want to call them, sitting right by the park, right on the dock. And they were beautiful. And we decided that if we ever hit the lottery, that's going to be our dream home. Right, Rob?
All the goals right there.
All the goals. We're working for this now. We played the lottery this weekend. Just in case, we didn't win. So that's why we're doing this podcast, because if we'd hit, we would have been over there buying property right now. And just to give you kind of an idea, what property costs is, we looked it up, we used to be in real estate. So, yeah. So you want to talk a little bit about these properties, Rob?
Yeah, I think 1.2 million was the lowest that we could find. And, we don't want to be slumming it while we're there. So,
This is true. This is true. 1.2, and I think the one for 1.2 was like 780 square feet.
I don't even recall. I don't think there was parking. I don't think there was any frills.
No, nothing came with that. But anyway, so just to kind of give you an idea, then I tried to convince Rob that this could be a really good investment for us. Because I said, look, between 2005 and 2015 in a 10-year span, someone made $1 million. We could make $1 million on this. You got to have the price of entry, though.
I could also go to Vegas and put it all on 00. So
I wouldn't advise that. Anyway, so we really did enjoy Coronado Island. Now, to give you just a little bit about this, it's 13 and a half square miles. And you know, it's home to the famous Del Coronado Hotel. And for anybody who doesn't know, that's a photo of an aerial photo of the Del Coronado, and just kind of giving you an overview of how beautiful this place is. Del Coronado's got a very rich history. It's a historical landmark. It is one of the only hotels, from my understanding here, is that is like a stick-built hotel that is a wooden structure. You know, there's only a few of them left in the United States, and this happens to be one of them. So we were pretty excited. We were like, let's go to the Del Coronado, right? Let's get out there and explore this place. It does have a history of being haunted. There was all these things. All of our friends were like, you got to go there. You got to have a Coronado cocktail, because this is all about sips, right? We're going to get to those sips. So I don't want anybody to think that, you know, we're not going to talk about sipping our way through San Diego, because we get plenty there. So we were hoping to get to the Del and just kind of find out what it was all about. And we decided, you know, we can walk this. It's 2.6 miles. Let's just kind of head off in that direction and explore all the way there, because the island was so gorgeous. So first up, we came to Coronado Brewing, which is famous. I mean, Coronado Brewing is a brewing company that you will hear about no matter what part of the country you live in, because they've been around for a good amount of time. And so we went in there and we had our first sip there. And this is what it looked like inside. It was a very old seaport kind of looking bar. I mean, this almost reminded me of something we would see in New England, where we were originally from. And here was our sip, you know, had a great hoppy beer. It was fantastic. So we continued on the 2.6 miles walking through. Thank goodness it wasn't overly hot. It was a beautiful day. And we got to the Coronado Hotel, and this is what we found. Reopening spring 2025. And to us, you know, what it felt like really was, I want to see, I don't know if this will play or not, but we're going to try and see if we can play this for you on YouTube. See if you can hear. It felt like we were in the scene from the movie. Sorry, folks, we're closed. And this is how we felt. Like, what? Yeah. Bummer. Anyway, I'm going to bring us back here and show you kind of what we did see. So the hotel, I'm going to use my little pointer. I don't know if you can see my little blue dot.
Yeah,
it was covered really in this big plastic wrap all the way around, like they're fumigating the place. And then all up the side was this staging, and this was the beautiful Del Coronado. So you know what I think? This is what I think, Rob. We just need to go back. 2005, it will be fully renovated.
Yeah.
2025, sorry.
I wasn't going to correct you.
Thank you. 2025, this will be fully renovated. We'll be able to tour because, I mean, I guess we both feel like we were cheated out of this, right? So got to go back. All right, but we did lots of other drinking other places, right? One of the places we went drinking was in Little Italy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't realize this, but San Diego has a long history of Italian immigrants and Portuguese immigrants that kind of came to the San Diego area. And what's really cool about this is they established Little Italy, almost like you would see like in New York or some of the other major cities. And one of the places that we went drinking there was a very famous brewery called Ballast Point. And why this was exciting for me is in the area that we live in, Ballast Point used to distribute here, and they had a beer called Sculpin.
That's right. Yeah.
And we used to drink Sculpin. And then we drank grapefruit Sculpin. Well, at least I did, because it was, citrusy, and it was wonderful. So the Ballast Point Brewing was one of the stops along the way, and that was because, and you know what's better than drinking at Ballast Point is drinking Ballast Point for free, because this was one of Rob's company's get-togethers, or your industry get-together. Somebody sponsored this event there.
Yep.
And there's Rob talking to a bunch of guys hanging out, and some other people that we know. We'll not name them here, but they're in that photo as well. But we got to hang out there and drink for free. And this is like all of their beer. Like, they got the most wonderful flavors. It was a great time. Anything you want to add about Ballast Point, Rob?
No, I mean, it's one of those craft beers that was always a go-to. It was extremely well known a number of years ago before everybody else started getting popular. And you're right, I haven't seen it in years. I wonder if they don't distribute in our area anymore. But it was great being able to visit. That's
exactly what I was saying, is they don't distribute here. It just doesn't come to our area anymore, which is kind of sad, But that's fine. We did lots of other drinking other places, and while we were in Little Italy actually connects up all the way down to Navy Pier. So we had some drinks down in Navy Pier at a wonderful seafood restaurant called Brigantine.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened to be on a Wednesday night. We did not have to work the next day. And Wednesday night is half-price wine. So we decided to take full advantage of half-price wine night. We drank bottles that we only have on special occasions at home. This one was from a Napa winery that we visited many years ago, right?
Yep. Do you remember the name?
I do. Do you?
Oh, of course I do. I didn't know if you were trying to hold back for some reason.
No, I was going to let you say it.
Silver Oak. Yeah, I do like Silver Oak.
Silver Oak. When we visited in Napa, we got to go down into the barrel room, or whatever they call that area. What do they call that?
Just the wine tasting room, but yeah, they do have a barrel room.
Yeah, we drank wine down in the barrel room. I couldn't find that picture. I was looking for it, because that would have been great to bring in here. But tell us a little bit about why we like this wine. What does it taste like?
I mean, it's Napa. It's one of the premier winemakers there, so it's just a big, bold flavor. Good oak, because they use quality barrels and so forth. And I remember this. I never did know what that little building was, but it was funny showing up there, because it's like, oh, there it is.
Yep.
So I still don't know what that building is.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out, and maybe we'll ask Silver Oak. It's probably made out of oak.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it. But we didn't stop there, because, as I said, we didn't have to work the next day. So we moved on, and we decided that, hey, it might be a good idea to have some light wine with the food that we were having.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we sipped on some Sonoma-Cutrer. As you can tell, I was very happy by the end of the night. In this picture here, Sonoma-Cutrer, Rob can explain the wines better than I can. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the flavor of Sonoma-Cutrer?
Sonoma-Cutrer, I love it. It's extremely well known. And Sonoma Lobe is their other one that they have as well. And it's just it's a creamy flavor to it. I'm not sure of the process that it goes through, but it definitely is one of those unique wines that you have to try.
Buttery, right?
No, actually, theirs is a creamier one.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I didn't know.
Well, I mean, butter and creamy. It changes the actual fermentation process, moving you into a malolactic fermentation. It takes that apple flavor and makes it creamier, whereas butter is definitely a different flavor profile, but it just makes it a nice, easy drinking wine.
So it's interesting because I always thought I liked buttery, but maybe I just like creamy.
No, you do. You like both. I've shared both with you before.
Yeah,
Yep.
I really enjoyed this. Obviously, by the look on my face, you can tell I was really relaxed. And what I want to point out is look at the beautiful background. We were sitting right on the water, enjoying this in the evening time, and all the lights and reflection were coming in. And look at that. That's a real shot from where we were. We were just right out here. Look at the reflection in the water. It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
And then, walking by, we walked by like the Star of India tall ships and the USS Midway aircraft carrier, all in that wonderful area.
Yep.
Now, this obviously was during the day. And the reason that I want to point this out is right behind the USS Midway was this little out of the way, turned out to be one of our favorites to visit. And this is one that could be easily missed because it was down on the end of the pier, and it was called the Fish Market. And reason it was called the Fish Market, you walk in and you can see there's a bar there, but it also had a fish market right inside. So it was really cool. So these were drinks that we had outside, sitting right on the water, and you can see the Midway like right in the background. This was the edge of the Midway, and you can see how close we are just sitting there. Of course, Rob, you had a Pilsner that day.
Yep.
Must have been the day after we drank all the wine.
It was.
Okay, so yeah, I know that because Rob's go-to will be a Pilsner, something lighter and easier the next day. And of course, I had a Bloody Mary, and I was happy because look, what Bloody Mary is not complete unless it has seafood in it. I like to have shrimp in my Bloody Mary or a lobster tail, and they made me happy right there. But you can see the water in the background, how pretty this is. I mean, it was just a beautiful spot.
Yeah, it was lower to the water. I mean, you literally were just a couple of feet above the water line. Some people like a nice height to it, which I, of course, do as well. But I really felt like I was right there on the water. It was a tremendous place. I would absolutely visit there again.
And you can see how close my Bloody Mary is to the water there.
Yeah.
Like that is like right there on the water. It was fantastic.
With a nice glass in front of it. So, nothing was spraying up on you.
And you didn't feel like you were going to fall out or out,
true too.
Yeah. So that place has upstairs and downstairs, and we talk about that a little bit more when we show the food, when we are eating San Diego. We do talk about that place again, but we had cocktails there, and we wanted to kind of like just kind of give you that heads up and show you that a little bit.
Yep.
Another place that we went was the Gas Lamp District, right? So Gas Lamp District is famous because it has these glass lights everywhere that used to be, or these round lights that used to be lit up by gas.
Yeah.
Today, I'm sure they're powered by electric like everything else. But back in the day, those were the way that they lit the streets back in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that, so everybody talks about the Gas Lamp District. And for me, it was fun. I mean, it was like bar, restaurant, restaurant, bar. That's all it was throughout the whole place. But it almost was a little overwhelming. And I think because you just keep going and you don't know which one to stop at and where to go. And it was a little bit, it was hustle and bustle and lots of people. And it was a party scene, like if you're going to San Diego and you want a party hardy, Gas Lamp, for sure, you can do it there. Any place you want to go. And but you and I kind of like sit back and enjoy a cocktail, enjoy a bottle of wine. And if that's the case, then Gas Lamp is not where you want to go to do that. Because if you are eating outdoors there, you're eating on the sidewalk where they've kind of cordoned off some tables.
Mhm.
But we had drinks there, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
So where we went was a place called La Puerta, and they were playing loud music, and it's called the neighborhood cantina, and for sure it was. And here's the crew that we hooked up with down there from your conference. All Rob and his friends there having a great time, and we had lots of margaritas, the best tasting. Oh, I had wonderful, if I remember, like infused tequila that was hot and salty and not overly sweet, not loaded down with a lot of sugar. So you're looking for a good time and good food and good cocktails, we recommend La Puerta in the Gas Lamp District.
Yep.
All right, this must have been the next day after the Gas Lamp District, because I'm having another Bloody Mary. So and we're having breakfast, and this Bloody Mary was fantastic. Look at all the sugar and salt loaded on the side of that glass. That was sugar and salt combined, so
Yep.
it made it really nicely balanced. And it came obviously with a gherkin in there and some olives, which, again, sweet and salty. And that's why I liked this one. And this was at a place called Breakfast Republic.
Mhm.
Now, Breakfast Republic, from what I'm told, is they've got a couple of them. So they're a small chain, like they're well known around certain areas of California, especially in San Diego. Looks like they say they've been around since about 2015. Rob, I don't think you had a cocktail that morning. I think you
Nope.
were behaving yourself.
I was behaving myself, but they did have good coffee, and I know that we're going to talk about the food in the other video.
Yeah, we did. We had good food there, and we will talk about that. So make sure you're watching our next podcast, which is about eating San Diego, and we're going to show you all the food that we had while we were there. Another cool place that we fell in love with was this place, Seaport Village.
So Seaport Village, right here behind me, this is located behind the Hyatt.
Looks like we might be having just a little bit of latency in that video, but anyway, that Seaport Village located behind the Grand Manchester Hyatt, which is where we stayed. And one of their restaurants I got to go to. Rob, you didn't make it over to this one. You were busy. But I went there to have a nice cocktail and a little appetizer while I was waiting for you to complete some of your work duties. And I had this. It was the prettiest cocktail. And the place is called Sally's Fish House and Bar. And that was the picture. They had outdoor seating that I just showed you. And it was a gin with lavender and cucumber. And look at that beautiful flower that they just put in there. I mean, I'm going to say this was the prettiest cocktail I had. Now, underneath that on the picture I have shown you, $, $. Beware, this was an expensive cocktail.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just letting folks know that if you go there and you're looking to have an expensive cocktail, you're going to have one, that's fine. Treat yourself.
Yep.
If you're looking for a go-to place every day, you'd go broke drinking in that bar. At least I would. Okay. So I did have other cocktails, though. Again, Rob, you were working, so sorry, honey bunny, but thank you for working and allowing me to go and do all this. I did go to the top of the Hyatt. Now, it's not that you couldn't have gone with me. Rob, you want to tell people why you didn't go?
No, I don't do heights, and that thing was like 40 stories up, and I said, yeah, have fun.
The 40th floor of the Manchester Grand Hyatt. And guess what I finally got? A Coronado. I got my Coronado cocktail that I was so disappointed about in the beginning of this podcast where I showed you. So I did have it. And it was made with Absolute vodka, some Monkey 47 gin, some Lillet, some Demerara syrup with orange juice and lemon juice, and it was wonderful. And look at that view. I mean, Rob, your hands are probably sweaty just thinking about.
I'm fine. I don't have to be there, but yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
And I went with a friend, another one of the ladies from that was visiting. Well, her husband was working as well at the conference, and she had a great drink too called a Mira Mesa. And so we took a couple of photos up there. Hers was lovely as well, a little similar to mine, but hers had honey syrup and lemongrass. Now, Rob, you and I did go somewhere for cocktails together in the morning when you were done with working. And do you remember stopping by here and what drew us in?
Yeah, I had the flight of mimosas there.
You did.
Yep.
But what drew us in was the succulents, right? Look how beautiful their succulents were. We have friends that that do these kinds of plants and flowers, cactus and succulents, all in their yard, and that's kind of what drew us in here. And there was your flight of mimosas.
There it is. Yes, I think it was pineapple, orange, guava, and
mango.
Mango. Thank you. Yes, mango. I thought the guava was the best, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's so much so that we came home and bought some guava juice, and then have since had mimosas with guava that we enjoyed tremendously. But we also, when we were in Italy last year, we had Bellinis.
That's right. Oh, yeah, those were peach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we thought peach might have been a great addition here for them. So I don't know, Edgewater Grill, if you ever see this podcast, you might want to think about bringing peach in there too, because that's another nice flavor. But we found in Seaport Village our favorite place, and that was, we liked drinking at Mike Hess Brewing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So Mike Hess Brewing doesn't look like a whole lot from this side. And you know what? Here it is. They have the downstairs and they have an upstairs. And when you walk upstairs, it looks like every other place along the Seaport Village, you know. I mean, it's comfortable, you know. Even the bar wasn't open upstairs. You had to go downstairs to get your drinks. Kind of was a little inconvenient there. But here's what we loved about it. This is where we would sit.
Yeah.
On the edge of the top of that building, looking out into the harbor.
And the sun would set right over that island. Yeah. Now look at that.
And they served us beer in these. Rob, you liked the cup, remember?
Yeah, I'm thinking about ordering some.
It was plastic.
No, they were aluminum. They're actually aluminum cups. They're not heavy. They're not they're just a little bit thick. But for whatever reason, they keep your drink cold. I really think I need some for this summer.
And you know, this I'm listening to sitting up there.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
That was your spot. It was just, that's where Jan's gonna be.
And the boats just kind of drifted by us.
Make their way through. Yep.
I mean, we watched the sun go down here every night. This was by far our favorite hangout. And of course,
say it.
You're about to spill, but this is our last beer in San Diego.
No. Cheers again.
Cheers.
You gotta make sure they do it, and then
we had a good time. That was our last day in San Diego, and we had to have a cheers at Mike Hess Brewing because by far it was reasonably priced for what we were getting, for the view. You really couldn't beat it. If you wanted to grab food, you could grab food all around there. We're going to talk about that more in the next video. Now, there was one place we didn't get to, but I wanted to kind of, as a bonus, just put this in here. Just kind of let people know about something I learned about. Across the street from the Grand Manchester Hyatt is this barbecue place, Kansas City Barbecue. And interestingly enough, I found out that this is where a famous scene from a movie, and guess what movie that is? Most people know it as Top Gun. Famous scene was filmed over there. And let's see if we can get it to play.
Yep. The bar scene.
You always go home with the hot women.
All right, thank you, Carol. I'm gonna go embarrass myself with Goose for a while.
Woohoo!
Your love drives a man insane. You broke my will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious,
Great balls of fire.
I would love to be able
Yeah,
to.
we'll have to visit that the next time we go back.
We'll have to go there just because it was fun. It was, something that we totally missed out on this time, but we wanted to make sure you knew about that directly across the street from the Grand Manchester Hyatt. So all in all, I would say we had an amazing visit. We were so excited to be there, and we really can't wait to go back and sip our way through San Diego again. And I'm sure we're going to find some new places, but I guarantee you we'll go back to some of our favorites.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm really glad that we went. I'm glad that you and I got to go together, because the last time I visited, I never checked out the area. I went by myself, and this time it was a lot of fun with us both being able to visit and enjoy these places. I wouldn't have gone to those restaurants by myself, so it worked out extremely well.
All right, so make sure that you have this queued up. Make sure you subscribe, hit the button below, subscribe, and turn on those alerts so you know when we're putting up more videos. And especially, you're going to want to see the food. We ate our way through San Diego. We ate some fantastic food. And we're going to show you not just like high-end, we did have some high-end food, but we're going to show you all the food that we just really enjoyed, and some little out-of-the-way unknown places that you might want to check out.
Perfect.
All right.
See
Well,
you then.
thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining me today, Rob.
I'll see you then. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.